Hey everyone, Loken and I are back to talk about the latest chapter of My Hero Academia. Join the discussion by leaving a comment and let us know what your take would be. Spoiler warning, this video will cover chapter 303 of My Hero Academia. If you enjoy these videos, please help support the channel by leaving a like and subscribing to Texas Smash. Hit the bell icon to turn on all notifications so that you can be sure to catch us every time a new chapter is released. Let's nerd out together. Today we're excited to have Rose from the Turtle Quirk Discord server joining us to discuss Chapter 303. On top of knowing her stuff when it comes to My Hero Academia, Rose is also an amazing artist and is drawing some awesome pictures of art that will be featured on an upcoming video series planned for the month of March. She is also giving my current YouTube banner a major upgrade. You can count on a quality guest if they're featured on Texas Smash. Let's get to it. We pick up right where we left off last week. Hawks and Jeanist come into Enji's hospital room to admit and apologize for their eavesdropping on the Todoroki family conversation. Upon entering, Ray bows to Hawks and Jeanist and apologizes for what Toya has done. Hawks comments via text how shocking it is to see his childhood obsession in such a sad state. Hawks goes on to ask Shoto if his scar was from Enji, to which Ray immediately accepts responsibility. Hawks thinks about his parents and how he did not try to keep his family together like Shoto has done, to which he gives Shoto major credit for. Okay, so we'll stop right there. What do you guys got?
Well, I found it funny how Ray started bowing down at the start of the chapter. Quite funny.
Yeah, she felt bad, but really Hawks and Jeanist are the ones that should be feeling bad. They're over here eavesdropping on a personal discussion, you know.
Yeah. I'm surprised none of them were like, "Oh, this is a bit rude," but they all took it quite well. I think if that were me, I'd just be there like, "How dare you!"
Jeanist did say it was illegal denim. Another one of his great punchlines.
Yeah.
Jeanist doesn't get enough respect, man.
Yeah. I like how on the side panel of that it just says, "What the hell is illegal denim?" I also find it really creepy how tall Jeanist is as well. Like, in that one panel, he just towers above everyone else. He'd be the giant man.
I mean, if you think about it, we haven't really seen Jeanist, honestly, as far as the whole series is concerned. We haven't seen him a whole lot. He's been getting more screen time lately than I think ever, you know?
Yeah.
So, which is cool. I like Jeanist.
Yeah, no, I love Jeanist. It's crazy he came back from the dead, but nah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
For sure. I was caught off guard really when they showed up. Not that they showed up, but that they are wanting to team up with the Todoroki family. I honestly did not see that coming. I really thought it would have just been Shoto and Enji going after Dabi. But now that they've shown up, it's like, whoa, next level. That's, they're really coming together as heroes. They're not just going to leave Enji behind. They still got his back.
Yeah. Darby's got a little army coming after him.
Exactly. His whole family and now the other top two heroes.
Yeah. I like how Hawks was like, "Oh, I didn't think my childhood obsession would end up in this state. What a shock."
Yeah, I think that's cool because Hawks could have definitely heard what Dabi said and just kind of instantly gave up on Endeavor. But, he saw through. I mean, you'd expect nothing less of Hawks, to get to the truth.
That's such a good point, though, Rose. It's full circle, from when he was a kid, holding him when we got that backstory of Hawks, and then now he's coming to Enji's side to save him.
Well, Enji's crying.
Yeah.
Right. Endeavor's plushie was there when Hawks was crying. Now Hawks is there when Enji's crying.
Crazy.
It's nice to see how far Ray's come because, like, she's so confident in saying that, like, she was the one that burnt Shoto and stuff. It's like, wow, this woman's going strong.
Right.
She's taking her responsibility as well. Yeah. I
Yeah,
did
and
find
then
it
oh, go ahead.
sorry, I just found it interesting that, this is what, a day later? Where did
Yeah.
I see that? I got released yesterday. So Hawks just got released yesterday, and we also saw from a previous chapter that they were out, on the town trying to help another, outbreak of villains and everything. And now they're at the hospital. Hawks still can't talk, so he's still texting on it, and yet now he's already ready to like go out into battle.
Yeah.
They're still all bandaged up and tore up, and yet they're just like, "All right, let's go. Let's do this."
Don't forget, Jeanist has one lung.
Yeah.
Hawks is
Good
also
that.
texting while not looking at his phone, which I found funny. Like he's not even looking at his phone.
Yeah.
He's gotten so used to texting, he doesn't even need to see it anymore.
Right. The only other part in this section, in my opinion, if y'all got something else, is the relation that Hawks seem to feel to Shoto,
Yeah.
which I want to get your guys' take on that, because my take is that I see why he relates, but it's not really an exact comparable.
Yeah.
I don't think Shoto would have been trying so hard if Inji hadn't have turned around. I mean, think
Yeah.
about when before Inji kind of had his moment of realization. Realization. Let me try that again. um, Shoto wasn't trying to bring Inji to the family, not until Inji changed. So that's a big difference in my opinion. I think Hawks might be. I don't know. I'm not sure I agree with Hawks that it's an exact comparable to Shoto's situation. Do y'all agree, or do you think it's more of a comparable than I'm making it out to be?
Yeah, I think that's quite a good opinion on it. Yeah.
They do have some similarities,
Yeah.
just as
Yeah,
far as like, but now as adults, yes, the outcome is much more different.
yeah. But I think it wasn't until, because I mean, Shoto has a mom that never really was bad, and now a dad who is now good.
Yeah.
If his parents were, like Hawk's parents, I guess what I'm getting at is I fear that Hawks is going to see what Shoto's doing, feel like, man, I should have been doing that the whole time. I'm going to go do that now.
Yeah.
And then he might get kind of negatively impacted because now he's trying to get, you know, get closer to his parents who haven't changed. They're bad people. Just kind of fear for Hawks a little bit there.
Well,
Yeah.
he did say that he was going to go after, try to find his mom, like once she left that note
Right.
and fled. So I think he still cares about his mom. I think the only person that would need to turn a new leaf would be the dad.
Didn't his mom tell Hawks, go do, she didn't say go kill somebody, but she said, do whatever you have to do. Heavily implied, like, I don't care if you commit crime, just bring me money.
That was back when he was a child, but when they got put into that witness protection program, pretty much, she became just a normal citizen. I don't think she did any more life of crime.
The story cuts from her at that point, right? So we don't know how, if she's changed or not.
Right.
So, yeah, I guess that's my main point with that whole topic is just I kind of like, man, Hawks, don't be going down a bad path now.
This chapter is awesome.
Hawks continues his discussion with Inji to advise of the laundry list of unfortunate events taking place outside. The locations for Shigaraki, Dabi, Toga, Spinner, Skeptic, and 132 other members of the Liberation Front, and 7 near High and Nomu, all unknown. The escaped convicts of 7 prisons, one of which being Tartarus itself. The Public Safety Commission being out of commission. The heroes resigning. Untrained civilians causing massive destruction in an attempt to take matters into their own hands. And the difficulty of reaching out for assistance from other countries due to the state of the Public Safety Commission, who would normally handle these matters. Hawks texts Inji that he has no choice but to continue the fight. He offers his support, as does Jeanist, to which Endeavor is so surprised that he starts crying for the somethingth time, we've lost count now. Hawks concludes by saying the first step is to address the public not only because of Dabi's inescapable accusations of Inji, but also because of the increased questions regarding One For All. Inji and Deku briefly discussed One For All amidst the chaos of the war on a public channel. Alright, so for this part, there's a lot more material than the first section. I guess I'll try to go in order more or less. It really is hell out there. I mean, he's not exaggerating. Just the laundry list of all the things that are going wrong really puts it in perspective. I remember after the League of Villains merged with the Paranormal Liberation Front, we kind of did the same thing and made a bullet list of all the things the League of Villains has now.
Yeah.
That's only gotten worse. When Hawks put it that way, just terrible thing after terrible thing after terrible thing. Puts it in perspective.
And how quickly everything's happening. It's crazy that like All For One's plan has been executed perfectly. Nor does anyone know the location of anyone. And there's all these villains out there. All the prisons got emptied out. And I'm still just curious. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we don't know where Giganto is. I know he was caught, but if all the prisons are emptied, where is he being held?
That's a good point.
They dug a big hole.
Or Cementos just made a prison in the ground for him.
That's a good idea.
So it'll be interesting to see how society's crumbling right now. What are they even going to do when they're trying to get everything back in line, with the villains? All right, we captured them while they're broken out. Like, what are they going to do? It's crazy.
So here's a good question that I was wondering, because I'm not sure, honestly, what I would say to this very question. Is Japan livable right now for Deku and the 1A students? At first, everyone was kind of thinking, Tamura's taken over Japan, All For One, whatever you want to say, and there was no choice but to escape to, a lot of people were thinking they would go to the States, maybe meet up with some of the vigilantes. But I don't know. I mean, do you think they leave Japan? Is it that bad? It's pretty bad, but is it so bad that they're going to have to leave the country?
I think right after, they give a list of everything that's going on, it says now, though, that they've opened up a request for heroes to come outside of Japan and from other countries to help them. Yeah. So I think they're going to try to stick it out and really get it under control.
But it does have it does say that, but then the very next speech bubble, it says, but with the commission at a standstill, the process of sending in heroes is a mess, kind of implying that they're not able to get the heroes because of the status of the Public Safety Commission.
Right. So I still think they're going to try it, though. They're in the hospital. They're recovering. I think the villains are regrouping themselves. And Shigaraki is, getting to 100%. And so while the villains are doing their thing, the heroes are going to try to get it together and, be able to come up with a plan to go on the offensive.
Yeah.
That is pretty monumental. I mean, to actually get some heroes from the other countries involved. A lot of people have been wanting that for a while. Now it's finally alluded to in the series, So.
And the people that we see all shadowed out, is that going to be who it is? And then if it is, who are they?
The one in the front reminds me of Dr. Eggman from like Mario or whatever.
Oh, what? Nice.
I don't know why, I just see it.
I see it.
I get Electro vibes from the one on the left.
Yeah, Flash.
Like the Flash, yeah.
And then everyone's first thought, and mine included, Captain Celebrity. He's either going to come to Japan or, it's not impossible that they might have Deku at the very least get out of Japan, protect One For All. But yeah, I'm excited about that. I mean, it definitely opens the world up for sure. And I really want to see Captain Celebrity. Inji's given Deku a run for his money with the Cry Fest at this point. How many chapters?
Oh boy.
That's going to be what wakes Deku up out of his coma. Like, hey, I'm the crier.
Stop taking my role. Slaps.
I thought it was cool. Again, Jeanist, he really is just really cool to me. I've already put my life on the line for Hawks. The road to hell might as well be a runway to me now.
Yeah.
He's just so chill about everything. Like, yeah, what's another, putting my life on the line? It's just another day for him.
Yeah. The day in the
Yeah.
life.
Right.
I love Jeanist, man. I feel like people hate on Jeanist, and people don't see, and Loken will back me up, Rose. I always tell him this. I mean, if you read Vigilantes, I think a lot of the reason that people don't like Jeanist, I say don't like Jeanist, let me rephrase. People don't understand how strong he really is because you haven't really seen much from him.
Yeah.
There's a scene in Vigilantes where he doesn't have to use denim. He can do anything. He gets the steel cables that are holding up a bridge and unravels them. So it's not quite like what he did against Gigento. In this scene, he unravels the cables so they're fine points and he uses them to attack with. He's a lot stronger than most people think.
Well, one last thing in the panel, the brother does say, once Endeavor's like, of course he's gonna, help and go after Dobby, but then the brother says, just until you stop Toya.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. Yeah.
I'm glad y'all did,
because
because
that interesting.
I find that kind of a dick move, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it's just foreshadowing that, NG will have to stop or step out of, the hero as being a number one hero.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that, as Natsuo's supporting Endeavor until Toya's stopped, that he finally comes to agreement with the fact that Endeavor is trying to turn around and be a better man, and hopefully Natsuo tries and forgives him, or does something of the sort anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Natsuo needs to get with it. But Loken, that's a good perspective. I mean, if you think about it from that way, maybe he's not saying I'll tolerate you until you stop Toya, and then I'm going to be mad at you again. Maybe he is saying that, hey, maybe you need to stop being a hero, but not until you stop Toya. So if you look at it from that way, then maybe he's not being a jerk. Maybe he's just saying you need to hang on to your title of hero until you finish your business,
Right.
So if you look at it from that angle, then that's okay. When I first read it, I took it like Rose took it. I kind of thought Natsuo was being a jerk there. Okay.
I don't know, just his face above, it's kind of like, he feels down to me almost, and so he's finally coming to, understanding on his father and kind of accepting him. And like we've said, and these chapters have been about the family reconciling the past and really coming together to move forward into the future. It's just so beautiful.
Okay, I like that. I like that better because it really did rub me the wrong way. I was like, man, not so, come on. But yeah, all right, I'm gonna choose to believe what you said, Loken.
Cool.
Because I want that to be true.
I've just noticed on the panel of when the whole family standing together, and you can just see Best Jeanist's Best Jeanist's belt buckle, and it just has BJ on it.
Oh, good call out.
Yeah.
I just caught that in the corner of my eye. I was like, oh, that's his belt buckle. Wow. I never noticed it before.
Some great initials right there.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Boy.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I did want to talk about Natsuo though, so I am glad you stopped me because I was scrolling too fast. So
yeah.
And then one for all, so cat's out of the bag.
There's no hiding it now, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, Bakugo, I actually looked this up for another reason. It just happens to tie back. But chapter 253 is when Bakugo talked to All Might. It was kind of a flashback in the midst of the war arc.
Yeah.
And it was, everyone always remembers this scene because it's when Bakugo asked All Might about the fourth user. But part of that conversation was Bakugo basically saying, you're not going to be able to keep this a secret forever. Quirks are going to keep popping up. How are you going to explain it? And man, All Might has the foresight of something without foresight. Bakugo was right. I mean, obviously, how are you going to hide it?
Yeah.
Which leads me to think, though, now that it's out of the bag, I mean, we know the story's got to come to a close eventually, but the fact that this is finally out, I really do feel like the whole culmination and the final battle will be between Deku and All for One.
Yeah.
like he is going to be he might not be the final user, but the whole battle between All for One and, you know, the One for All, like that's going to come to a head now that it's all out in the open.
I agree with you that One for All is the final villain, although that's a little controversial, but I am with you there. That's subjective. I am not with you. I do feel like Deku's the final holder. I don't think someone else is getting One for All. Not to say the show will end. The show could continue without One for All, I feel like.
Right.
But I feel like Deku is the chosen one. He is the point of singularity.
That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, Deku's the chosen one.
Yep. Which is why, to your point, we feel like All for One has to be the final villain, because he's been the one for 9 generations, and to be All Might didn't stop him. People give him credit for stopping him. He didn't. Okay. Well, yeah, cat's out of the bag with One for All. And then Enji's big realization whenever Deku was running from, not really running from, but trying to get Shigaraki away from everybody. So Deku ran out in the middle of nowhere. And then remember when he told Enji on the public line. Obviously, that's how Enji kind of tied Deku with One for All. So that's where the scene kind of leaves Enji and then shifts towards Deku. So we finally leave Enji's hospital room and see Bakugo restrained via Froppy's tongue and being carried away by Sugarman and Mineta. Bakugo seems to be genuinely concerned for Deku here in his unique way. Jiro advises Ida and Ochako that Tokoyami and Kaminari have been discharged now. Jiro asks Ochako about Deku, to which Ochako admits that she is very anxious about Deku's recovery. Hawks and Jeanist approach Deku's room and pass the restrained Bakugo on the way. Hawks asks to speak to Deku, to which Ida replies that All Might has requested to be alone with Deku for now. The chapter closes with All Might thinking to himself that he can feel that Deku is talking with the previous holders of One for All at this very moment. Not very many panels here, but definitely a good cliffhanger style ending to the chapter. First thing I'll bring up, what is Mineta doing? Is he running on the wall? Like, how is he as high?
I think he's clinging onto Bakugo's legs.
So he's just in the air.
Yeah.
He's not helping carry at all.
Yeah. One swift kick from Bakugo and he gets sent flying.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. And then really the whole picture is funny. Sue using her tongue.
Yeah.
And then look at her face. She looks real happy about having to do this. Yeah, but it's cool to see all the students again. It's been a while.
I'm assuming that woman standing next to like Uraraka is a nurse or something, unless it's just someone else and I'm just not getting it.
I think I stopped and looked at that as well.
Yeah.
For a brief
First
second,
I thought it was Jiro, then I was like, no, because she shows up later, doesn't she? I don't know.
She does show up later. For a brief second, I thought Inko, but it's definitely not Inko.
Yeah.
But yeah, good to see the students. Ochako kind of dropping a hint for us, though. The fact that she says she's anxious based off of what she's heard. I wonder what Deku's going to be like when he wakes up. I mean, the obvious thing is his arms. What's going to happen with his arms?
Yeah. I like how in the scene where Bakugo's like, oh, why am I awake but you're still asleep? I like how Uraraka looks like she's about to like beat someone. It's just the pose that she's doing.
Get away from my man.
Yeah.
Bakugo's hilarious. Just starting out with him, like Deku, you shouting at him, and again, just why am I like how you brought that up. Why am I awake? But you're sound asleep. Like, man, for someone who didn't care about Deku, man, he really does care now.
Yeah, I like how Uraraka's like, oh, it looks like he's only gotten louder than before. Just like, oof. But yeah, at least we got confirmation that Kaminari and Tokoyami are okay, so that's okay.
Good call out. A lot of people were wondering.
Yeah, I bet people can rest easy now, knowing that they're both okay. Especially Kaminari.
Whatever even happened to Tokoyami? Didn't he brought Hawks to the hospital?
Yeah,
I looked that up.
I think he got a bit burnt, didn't he, by Darby's flames? They hit him a bit. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Not right. It's easy to forget. I forgot. I had to look it up. But Rose is right.
Big brain. Yeah.
Nice.
I like how Jiro was like, oh, is he doing all right? And then Uraraka being like, from what I've heard, I'm anxious. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah. And then we got more of Hawks texting without looking.
I wonder what Ochako heard about Deku's condition thingy. Can't wait to find out.
Yeah, I wonder I wonder if he's gonna. A lot of people suspect prosthetic arms, maybe.
Yeah. But then again, will he be able to channel his quirk through those?
I don't think he'll lose his arms. I'm sure it'll be like
Yeah.
some type of, attachment or, just a tech for his arms.
Yeah.
But her face definitely, oh, it looks damn. When the anime comes, like her emotion, the way she's drawn is just so I'm feeling the pain right there.
Yeah.
Mm.
And to go back to Bakugo for just a second, when we were talking about how different he is now, it's weird. I mean, I don't want to say weird, but we haven't really seen this, like Bakugo hasn't been this way. To be honest, I already referenced it earlier, but chapter 253 was like his big first time that he kind of gave clues before this point, but he straight up said, I feel bad for bullying Deku. And then
Yeah.
All Might, that conversation, there was a lot there. All Might said, yeah, you remind me of Endeavor, and you want to atone for that, so you're helping them train. And then fast forward, for the first time, what do they always say to each other? Bakugo says, I'm going to win, and then I'll save. And then Deku says, oh, I'll save, and then I'll win.
Yeah.
But for the first time in the war arc, we saw Bakugo save first, which was a
Yeah.
big deal for his character. So this is the first time that like the drama kind of chilled out, where there isn't something crazy going on. And we've got a chance to see Bakugo in his new kind of state of mind where he genuinely is trying to support and help Deku. So
Yeah.
it's different. It's good, but it's not something that we're used to. Just put it
Yeah.
that way.
Because I feel like if this was a situation that happened at the start of the anime, Bakugo wouldn't be like just like saying why are you awake. I think he'd be like trying to shrug people off him first, like tell people not to touch
Yep.
him or anything.
Like he wouldn't be caring about Deku or even really visiting him.
Yeah.
He probably
Well,
wouldn't
he-
even be here. But the fact that he is, to me, does show that he's definitely developed and he does truly care about Deku.
Yeah.
He shouldn't even be out of bed. He got out of
Yeah.
bed against medical advice.
Yep.
So
And then I like
Yeah.
how Jeanist again, he calls him like great explosion, murder, god, dynamite.
So you're unharmed.
Did-
Does this look unharmed to you?
And then the very last thing. So this isn't on the scan, but I found it on Twitter. Let me pull it up real quick. But not suspicious at all that All Might says, "Hey, nobody else come in here," right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah, that's one
teaser.
thing.
Oh, go ahead.
That's one thing about the the suspicious acting thing. It's like when Hawks is like, "Oh, I wanted to speak with Midoriya," and then it's like, "Oh, All Might requested to be alone with him," and then Hawks is like, All Might."
He's
wouldn't it be-
connecting the dots.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it have
Nice
been funny?
call out.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it have been funny if Inji, whenever he realized that, whenever he connected One for All to Deku,
Yeah.
what if his very next thought, I would have loved if he said out loud, "Is Deku All Might's secret love child or something?"
Oh god.
That would have been good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got so I went and found this on Twitter. It's not on the scan, but just the teaser. It's not shown on the scan. It says, in his deepest sleep, he's finally reunited with them. It's kind of the
Yeah.
teaser for chapter 304.
Mhm.
So, and no break. There is a chapter next week. So
Nice.
I'm excited for it to like All Might's straight up just says, I feel it within young Midoriya, within One for All. Right now, you're having a chat
Yeah.
like with the previous holders. And that's what I was thinking the other day, trying to recall. All right, if Deku's still, asleep, what is he doing? What's going on? And I really did. This is exactly what I thought, that he was, in the vestige world talking
Yeah.
with the previous holders. And I'm just excited to see if we're going to get a reveal of everyone, or is it just Nana? Like, who
I
is
hope
it?
it's
Is it a
everyone.
round
I want to
table?
know who everyone else is.
Please be everyone.
Yeah.
it's not gonna be. That's
Yeah.
too easy.
One thing about this chapter as well, I'm not too keen on the fact that All Might's like trying to keep everyone else out. So it's like, it's a bit mean. But oh well. I mean,
All right, so that about covers 303. Stick around after the outro if you want to hear us speculate on what we think is going to happen next. Okay, I had a couple questions once we got through with the chapter, which we pretty much are now. So, where's Inko? I mean, if Inko was there,
Yeah.
surely she would be. I mean, All Might's not going to keep her out.
Yeah, I'm just imagining she turns up next chapter and just goes up to Hawks and is like, "Oh, just walk in anyway. He can't tell you to back off if I'm with you." Just like, that'd be quite funny. Go on.
That's possible, but also I'm thinking the fact that she's not already there is a little weird.
Yeah, and it's been
to
2
me.
days. Yeah.
All for One likes to go for the gut. I mean, go for the.
No.
What?
I already know where
You
you're
know-
going.
Stop.
She's still alive. I'm sure.
She could be
maybe this
alive.
is-
I'm not saying
before
she's
next-
nomified. I'm not saying she's a
Right.
Noma, but
That's
I am
not-
saying she could be captured.
Watch now you say that in next chapter we find out she's been squished by all the rubble. And it's like, no.
I think if she were to be captured, she would be. All for One would want to use that as leverage. So I think he
Yeah.
would keep her.
alive.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
now to use
Right.
against Deku.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for Deku's dad to arrive. Like, come on.
I was
that's
about
another-
to say that.
right.
I bet this is when that's gonna happen finally.
Yeah, just like finally after all this time.
disagree.
Come to see you when your son's on his deathbed.
I
Right.
disagree. I don't think
Yeah.
we're seeing Deku's dead.
Yeah.
For me, what I could see is that since he's traveling, we don't really know what he does for work. So
Yeah.
I see him, now that they're asking other heroes to come in, I bet his dad is the one that's gonna like help coordinate that maybe. And that's when he finally comes in and all these other heroes are with him. And
Yeah.
Hawks and Jeanist are there and NG, everyone teams up and the power of friendship. Yay.
I've got something that I was thinking about earlier. Like, what if like Hawks doesn't listen to what Ida said about All Might wanting to be alone and just walks in anyway and is like, "Oh, you've got something to do with this." Because Hawks seems like the type of person that doesn't care what other people say. He'll like go in on anything without worrying about other people being like, "Hey, get out." He just seems like that type of person, in my opinion. Like, he'll just walk in and be like, "Look, I know you don't want anyone here, but I need answers now."
I definitely
Yeah.
can see that the next chapter opening up
Yeah.
like with that happening.
Well, I can see that as well, but I don't think we're going to get a lot of real world panels next chapter. I think it's vestige time.
Imagine
So-
Hawks asking Deku about One for All, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know anything about it," and it's like, right, okay.
Yeah, Hawks is too smart for that. But yeah, I do feel like we're not going to see any of these guys next. Now, to your question, Locan, definitely Nana, definitely Lariat, definitely All for One's little brother. Now, fourth user is a hard maybe. So All for
Yeah.
One little brother, Lariat, Nana. Those I'm confident on. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure we're not going to see 2, 3, or 6. Fourth is a 50-50 shot for me. But I have
Yeah.
a theory I was going to run by you guys, kind of predictions, I guess. But I feel like every time Deku goes into this vestige world, they always say at some point there's always a mention of, hey, you can't move in this world yet. Or you need to learn. Every single time he goes in there, they make a comment about it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's important. Deku needs to learn to move in this world, and I think it might relate to the fourth user. I think it could be a situation where it could be like a little arc, a vestige arc, and Deku might
Yeah.
have to learn how to move around in this world, and then once he does, maybe he can go pursue the fourth user. Because I feel like the fourth user is not going to come to Deku.
Imagine if like All for One's vestige is like gonna like go into that One for All vestige and like have a battle in there. That'd be quite cool to witness.
Well, me and Kronos, we were talking the other day, and I was comparing it to like Bleach when they go into their Zanpakuto and do that. He does the whole training, so I think it would be similar like that, where he does have to learn how to move, and then he's able to use, the quirks and fight with them and everything. It'd be
Yeah.
really cool to get a whole viewpoint of that. I really do hope that they all meet up. What was the preview thing that you found again, Kronos?
The teaser?
Yes.
Let me go back to it. The final line is, in his deepest sleep, he's finally reunited with them.
Well, I'm excited to see who all it is.
What if
And then-
Deku's in the vestige world and All Might materializes in the vestige world because they killed him outside the vestige
Oh
world?
boy.
And Deku's been sleeping the whole time. That won't
He's like-
happen, but that would be crazy.
What are you doing here, All Might?
Well,
So,
don't wake up. You might want
Um,
to sleep a little longer.
I wonder how long Deku's going to be asleep for, though. Like, imagine he's like, "Oh, you've been asleep for 2 whole years." Wait, what? Just like, whoa, okay.
That's not impossible. People have been thinking this time skip for quite a while. That could be a
Yeah.
way to make it happen where we see a little miniature arc inside the Vestige world, training whatever happens in there. And then when the arc's over, Deku wakes up. That would be a way to create a time skip without, it would feel like a natural time skip. Deku
Yeah.
wakes up. What the hell? It's been 2 years, but he's been in a coma this whole time. So,
And training and
first.
everything. What
mhm.
have we gotten confirmation on how time works in that world? Is it like, equivalent to in our world? A day is a day in there, or could a day in our world be a week in the Vestige world? We
As
don't
far
know
as
that yet, right?
I mean, it hasn't explicitly said, but I think it's pretty much one for one as far as the time is concerned. But the difference here is Deku's in a coma.
Right.
I mean, the first time he was sleeping, it was a dream. The second time was in the middle of a battle. This is, it's not that the Vestige world time is going faster than real world time. It's real world time. It's just that Deku's in a coma,
Right.
So
Yeah.
which would help him train, it'd give him
Mhm.
more than just a night's rest to be able to learn real quick. He'd have a year or two or more.
Yeah.
So
Right. Well, 2 days have already passed, so have they been talking this whole time? What did they or is it gonna start the clock back when, got in there, or, it'll be interesting to see what's already been going on and what they're gonna discuss.
yeah, that's a good point. So if you think about it, right now, this is the longest time that Deku's ever been in the Vestige world yet.
Mhm.
Because the first time was one night, the second time was during a battle, and now it's been 2 days in there. So he's already been in there for longer than he's ever been.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I just
Cool.
snaps back out of it, and he's just like, "Whoa, it feels so weird to be in the real world again."
Yeah, I think his danger detection, he's going to get it eventually. He's going to figure it out. And then once he does, I think that's what's going to bring him out of his coma, is because he does have danger detection down now.
Yeah.
It's working, and because it's working, he's going to be able to sense something in the
One thing
real
about
world.
the danger detection, is that like a passive thing, like it's constantly active or something? I feel like it is. I don't know.
I believe so, but
Yeah.
I never really thought about it.
Yeah.
I think it is, though. I think it is always
Yeah.
on. It's
The thing
described as Spidey sense. So
Yeah, the thing I'm trying to get from it is like, does it like give him like an accurate time of when something bad's gonna happen, or is it just like, oh, something's bad's gonna happen, but I don't know when?
we don't know for sure. I mean, I think that's right around the corner once we get to the fourth user, exactly how it works. But I guess so. We'll end with this one. That's a good segue into this question, which people have been wondering for a while. Why was All Might so secretive about the fourth user? Final guess before we know for sure.
So I'm assuming maybe the fourth user's quirk is one that like hurts your mental state or something. I don't know. It just seems possible.
Very
That makes
possible.
sense.
And if we think about it, okay, fourth user, and then we got Lariat, sixth user, Nana, All Might.
Yeah.
None of those guys got to use the previous holder's quirk. So if the
Yeah.
fourth user is the only person who ever experienced this and All Might
Yeah.
sees this, it makes perfect sense. Like, this happened to the fourth user, and fortunately, if I'm All Might talking, fortunately for me, Nana, number 6, and Lariat, we didn't have to worry about this. But Deku, he's going to have think about, if that really is true for the fourth user,
Yeah.
it's now 5 generations later. So now it's going to be multiplied like
Yeah.
crazy compared to when the fourth user had it.
Yeah. Feels bad for Deku though. He's gonna be so stressed, just like he's just sitting in class, like something bad's gonna happen. Oh no, something else is happening. It's like,
And Deku, he wants to save everyone.
Yeah, imagine if it's not actually danger detection, but a quirk that like boosts all your senses, so you can like hear things from like ages away, and it's like all these voices are just like it's like strain on his brain or something. I don't know.
Drive you crazy, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking it's the type of quirk that if you use too much, it like deteriorates your mental state or something.
Yeah, that's probably the most realistic guess at this point.
Since all quirks have drawbacks to them, so that seems like quite a valid one, in my opinion.
All right, well, that was a lot of predictions. Anything else before we close out?
Not that I can think of.
I'm good. That was an awesome chapter.
Yeah.
All right.
See you on the next one.